Well, hello, hello, hello. I'm Tia Knapp, and my good friend Dr. Michael Gross is here too.
How is everybody? Thank you for joining us.
We are thrilled to have everybody showing up, and I will do a quick I'll do a quick introduction on Michael. I won't go into anything really long because we keep this down to about half an hour. And for those of you who are new and you haven't heard about Dr. Michael Gross yet, I'll put all his contact information in the comments so that you'll be able to connect with him later. And you will also have an opportunity to ask questions if you put them here in Facebook or on YouTube. We'll be able to see them, and then I will ask him the questions at the end of his message. That way, we don't interrupt him along the way. And on that note, Dr. Michael Gross is a professional keynote speaker, energy transformational coach, author of the Spiritual Primer, and he has been in the world of, how do you say it, Michael? Spiritual realm or
That works, yes.
okay. He's been in that field for over 30 years. He says he was around when Abraham Lincoln was in office. So he has so much knowledge, so many wonderful stories to share with us. He has a world of experience. He, I'll just touch on this really quick. He is exceptionally skilled at soul, oversoul, vibrations, frequencies, body timing, life force energy, and it goes on and on and on. He's done cellular release, he's done manifestation protocol programs. So definitely take down his contact information because I'm going to turn this all over to Michael. He has a phenomenal topic, and I'm going to just put myself on mute and get all the contact information in the chats. And hello, everyone. I see everybody's popping in, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. For new people that are here, nothing is rehearsed. Um, if I make a mistake, I'm channeling the information. That's the way I work. So I never know really what I'm going to be talking about to anywhere from a half an hour to 2 minutes before we go on the air. So this is the way it works, and I'm very comfortable with it. I'd like to talk to you about your multidimensional body. And it's really interesting for us to understand that there's an old trite cliche, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. It's kind of interesting. And what's more interesting is what's the purpose of the body? Well, think of about we are all energy, and energy has a frequency, color, vibration. All right, it has a sound. And yet, in your soul energy, we could call it your soul body, but it's really your soul energy, just like a proton, electron, particle, so on and so forth. It is incapable of feeling any other energy but unconditional love because the origin of your soul comes from the true source, who is unconditional, loving, allowing, and non judgmental. So as we move forward, why do we choose a body? Well, how can you feel a warm breeze upon in your soul? There's no such thing as trees and in your vibrations and energy of unconditional love. So in the physical body, you can feel a warm breeze. You can feel the rain. You can feel joy, feel happiness. You can feel anger, frustration. You can watch people grow, children being born, all these beautiful things of life. And you choose this body to have these experiences. And these experiences that you have that you've chosen, there's a term called Akashic Records. And that is stored within your soul. Within your soul, everything that has ever experienced, from the moment you left the bosom of the true source to this very second. And it's always increasing and expanding. Well, you might think of if you're millions of years old, your soul, and even older than that, how big of a hard disk do I have to have? I use that concept of a computer. Could be the size of a football field or even greater. But the truth is, energy is so small, it's a molecule, not perceptive to the eye, can, in our language, a trillion bits of information, or even a bigger number than that, smaller than a pinhead. So if you can understand that, then energy and vibration is in your soul. So many times I talk to many beautiful people, and there's some real misnomers of information. And they talk about your soul body. Well, you don't really have a body, but it's a soul energy. For the sake of discussion, we could say soul body. Also, if we need to understand, you talk about dimensions. And it's so very powerful when you're thinking about dimensions. Actually, what I understand them to be is levels and planes, which is synonymous. So, what is a dimension? It's a different experience that is existing simultaneously at this moment. For example, and I use this example, there's a fish in the pond and the fish is swimming around. What is this fish's life? Well, the fish is in water and breathes through the gulls and takes water, comes back out, may eat worms or whatever fish eat. And you walk by and it's looking up and seeing you, wow, they're in a different form. They're in a different energy. I never recognized them before. Wow, what are they doing there? So to that fish, you're in another dimension because it's out of their concept. Of course, their life is in the water. Using that understanding, this is you. So we talk about we're in 3D, third dimension. Then the fourth dimension, we're going to become more spiritual, blah, blah, blah. And then the fifth dimension, we won't have a physical body. Fourth, they say we're going to have a hologram of our body eventually. Fifth dimension, we're in different energy. No, let's use the word level and plane. Okay. So in the fourth level, you're in the third level. Right now, we're playing. Fourth level, you're in a hologram of your body. Fifth, and so on and so forth, you're more just pure energy that has a shape of whatever you choose that shape to be. It can be square, round, oblong, whatever you so desire. Okay. Now, within every level slash plane, there's a different energy. And so when I started off many, many years ago, there were 7 levels or planes. They talked about 7 dimensions, but 7-11. And now we're going into the 14th. And so my question is, with what I call the true source, you would call God or God the true source. Why are there so many levels? And the answer I got, your souls, all your souls are creating this. Well, next question, why are we creating it? Because you're creating a more of a density, vibration, frequency, and energy and color of deeper, deeper love, which will bring you closer to the true source. And then you may say, well, wait a minute, stop. Aren't I part of the true source? Yes. But you had to lower your energy to be in a human body. So setting that aside, I want to explain that. So picture yourself in this third dimension, as you say, or a third level, an ice cube, solid, rock hard. And then you go to the fourth level. Well, then you take the ice cube and let it melt. So it goes from a solid to a liquid. Now, let's talk about the fifth level. New energy comes in, raising the vibrations. What do? You add energy to the water. What is energy? Heat, whether it's gas, electric, wood, whatever you're doing. And it begins to bubble or boil. All right, that's the sixth level. All right. Then, as it's boiling, it begins to disappear, which we're going to the seventh level. It's steam. You can perceive the steam up to a certain extent, but it looks invisible. But if you hold the hand over the pot, droplets of water will be on your palm. When you lower the energy or vibration, as we say, the steam stops, the water coagulates back into the pot, whatever it has left, and then it doesn't boil anymore. Then it becomes water, and then you lower it again by freezing it. So that's an oversimplification, but for you to understand how that works. Well, why do we have 14 dimensions? Or, as I use level and planes, because I'm going to use that from now on in. And the true source said, because negativity cannot exist in unconditional love. It's the law, it cannot. Just like you cannot think of two things simultaneously. You can't think of It's either yes or no, but you can't combine the two together. Now, there are negative energies around you. People that are jealous can be really minor or angry, or some are really negative. And as they chase your soul, the higher you go into the plane, the more unconditional love. So they have a choice. They can accept the unconditional love, and then they know that, oh, I got some karma, or they'll stop chasing. But as we go to a higher level or plane, our vibrations are changing, just as the true sources of energy and vibrations are changing into more powerful love, deeper and deeper in love. This is an oversimplification for you to understand that. So let's bring it back to what we would call the third level, all right? Or you would say 3D. So let's take a look. Why am I a multidimensional body? Why am I a multidimensional person? Think about what you're creating. Everything in your life you have manifested, you have created for whatever reason. We're not going to discuss that reason except to say it's growth, understanding what it is to be in an embodiment, what it feels like, and it could be karmic things you have to experience to empower you or heal or learn from. Then you have Dharma with a D, which is, hey, you were great, you were a saint in a past life. Oh, now you're going to have these beautiful things to see what it feels like. You gave, now you have to receive. That is part of knowledge. So the next thing, what am I going to do with all that knowledge that I've got? Good question. You may become a guide, a master guide, guardian angel, an angel, or even a higher vibration. Not all souls are angels or guides. It's what you choose to do. You. It's all your choice. Nobody's holding a shotgun and say, you got to do this or that. Even if you were a terrible person in a past life, and your guides and angels and guardian angels or archangels or all of them say, it's time for you to experience what you've created and being on the receiving end. And you go, oh, I don't want to do this. So they keep talking to you, and finally they convince you to do it because you have to do it. It's something you have to learn. And then you do it, but you're surrounded with all this love. This is a piece of cake. I can do this. No problem. It's like being in a boat, the water's clear, and looking down, and there is a big pirate's treasure. It's an open treasure chest. And there's gold and diamonds and rubies and emeralds, all kinds of beautiful stuff. And you look at it and go, hey, I'll put on my snorkel. I can just dive into it. So you dive in, but it looks like it's only 10 or 20 feet away. It's actually 500 feet or 1,000 feet away. Water acts like a magnifying glass at times. And you go deeper and deeper, harder for me to breathe. I got to come up for air, and I come up for air, and I go back down. Too much pressure on my body, and so on and so forth. That's what it feels like when you come into your body. What did I do? I felt all this love. Oh my goodness gracious. This is going to be more challenging than I thought. That is the ego side of you. Spiritual side goes, hey, no matter what happens, you have learned this. You have empowered yourself. You have a mission, a goal, and you're going to go back into your soul again, and you're going to be surrounded with all this love. But the veil of forgetfulness descends upon us around the age of 3. Well, why would you do that? If you knew all the outcomes, you go, I'll do whatever I want to do, and I'll just come back and make it right another time. You would learn nothing. So that's why this occurs. Now let's take this another step further, being multidimensional. So you get up in the morning, you probably go to the restroom, you have a cup of coffee, and you're talking to someone on the phone, your spouse or a friend. You're now living in a different vibration and energy. From sleep to conversation, that's a different energy. Then you decide after you talk to them, maybe you get in your car and you go to work. That's one example. That's another energy and vibration of driving the car. It's separate from walking, it's separate from sleeping. But Michael, it's so minute. Yeah, all dimensions, as you would say, are vibrations or planes. It's just a little shift. So in taking the shift, you think, oh my God, I got to shift. This is going to be really tenuous. It's like clowning around to avoid and hide, or maybe I have to climb Mount Rainier, which is 14,400 feet tall. No, it's shifting your energy by 3 degrees. And this is what the true source told me. From a negative zero, from a -1 to a 0 to a +1. That's 3 degrees. -1 to a 0 to a +1. It's minute, that's small. Well, why do you make a big deal about it? That's what I want to know. Why do we make a big deal about it? What are we fearful of? There comes your experiences. That's another energy and vibration of your multi-dimensional body. You're remembering your childhood, how you've been brainwashed by religiosity or families or friends or false belief systems or superstitions, whatever they are. You're governed by that. Well, why? Because the past predicts the present predicts the future. So whatever your belief system is or was, you're duplicating it. And the example I use, you want a hot fudge sundae with ice cream. Most people, unless they're, intolerant to certain kinds of foods, they say, yeah, I'd like that. But what about adding jalapeno peppers and sauerkraut? Yuck. I wouldn't want that. But you see, instantly, you knew what that was. Even if you never had a jalapeno pepper or a ghost pepper or sauerkraut, you knew it was sour somehow or another. This is what is happening. You are being governed by a false belief system, which you have been brainwashed. And so you become locked in a little cage called fear, doubt, insecurity, or as I would say, a lack of self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. What if you all grew up and knew you're here for the experience, which is empowering? You're made out of love. You'll go back to being total love, and everything you do is adding to new knowledge and excitement. Then you would go, well, I broke my leg, but I learned something new. It's painful, but I learned it. Okay, I'm not going to curse myself or whatever. Or perhaps something happened and you got fired from your job. And it's like, oh, that son of a gun, they fired me, or whatever is going on politically now, instead of saying, you know what, there's something I'm supposed to learn from this. Maybe you're supposed to learn to do a different vocation. Maybe you're supposed to learn about this is temporary. And maybe you're supposed to prepare for a rainy day. So if this does happen, you have a backup. Most people do not buy enough food to last one day. That was years ago. You didn't have refrigeration every day or every second day. You went to the butcher. Maybe you had an ice box with ice in it, but you did that. Well, that's not our lifestyle now. So our lifestyle is you go to the grocery store and you buy enough for a week or 3 days or 2 days, 4 days, whatever. It is preparing yourself so that nothing can diminish your experience. If you sit there and worry about I don't have enough money, you sit there and worry about I don't have enough food, and you sit there and worry about it, what you think you create, you experience. Hello? Well, I'm not creating a lack of food or money or paying my bills. No. Then why you think about it and doubting it? See, the universe gives you whatever you're thinking. Universe is neutral, doesn't determine whether it's right or wrong. You do. You determine whether it's right or wrong. You make a big deal, as my family would say, making a federal case out of something, a big deal about it. That's what we need to understand. I think I believe a beautiful, wonderful soul by the name of Jesus said, judge not lest ye be judged. And that was when they were going to stone a harlot. Also, not by your words, but by your actions shall you be known. Another biblical. Oh, I love you. I'll take care of you. Hey, I need some help. I'm too busy. Oh, you should have asked me or whatever. But here's the trap. And the trap is, okay, I'm going to assist everybody. But you have to draw the line where you're being taken advantage of. So if somebody asks me for help a day in advance, I'll help them. Even, 3/4 of a day. But if they call me in the morning and I got a couple of clients to work with, gee, I'd love to help you, but you should have known to find me a little earlier. if you don't find anyone and you want to do it in, the next day or the day after, I can prepare myself. This is understanding. We teach people, souls, how to relate to us. Isn't that important? You have to teach people how to relate to you. That you're not a doormat, you're not a piece of garbage, you're not stupid, you're not dumb. So how do we rate people? Well, he's got degrees coming out of eyeballs, or she or he makes millions of dollars a year. Wow, they're so great. Really? Just because they make a lot of money or they got all degrees, they're better? Think about what happened in the days of yore when they had farmers and the person had a fire or they needed a building burnt. All the neighbors would come over, a big, huge potluck. You provided the materials and they spend a weekend building a barn or a house or whatever. Everybody pitched in. We've lost that. And what I find now, the majority of people I talk to, money, 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 money. That's all they care about. And then when they get the money, they blow it or spend it on things that are unnecessary. We're all guilty of that. And now that you understand, it's not about the money when you birth out. It's about how you made a difference. How much love did you spread? And what did you learn? And how did you help fellow human beings go in a new direction of life by being an example? More to come next week or next time, but I wanted to fill all that in with you. So thank you, because I was checking the clock and we're moving on. To you, do you have any questions that people are asking?
I have a question. I
Sure.
haven't seen any questions, but I have one, Michael.
Sure.
I wrote it down. When you're focused more on your soul activity, and you're paying more attention to what your soul is telling you. You've told us about how to determine the difference between our soul talking to us and our ego talking to us. So when people are chasing our souls, are they drawn to the energy that we have, and how do we handle that? Because are they attacking us? Can you address that a little bit more clearly when they're chasing our souls?
Could you explain what you mean by chasing your souls? Let me understand a little clearer.
You were in the area where you were talking about love and our energies and frequencies and vibrations, and how the more we share love, the more our soul grows. Right? So when
Our
someone
human
is
no,
coming,
no, no. Hold on. Our human experience grows. Your soul is already unconditional love to begin with.
right?
Okay.
Thank you. Right. So as our soul is in our body experiencing our life, and we're understanding that communication between soul and ego, we get to understand more about our soul. But how do we handle when other people are coming around and they might not be, they might not be at the same level of understanding their souls? So sometimes they might be unintentionally attacking us or chasing us because they feel somehow maybe threatened because we're more at peace. Does that make sense?
Yes, the reason that will happen, they'll judge you, they'll criticize you, they may verbally attack you or say negative things about you, etc. So if that happens, number one, let me share this. Don't defend yourself. Don't. Okay? All I would say is consider the source or origin of these remarks. That's it. That's all you need to say. And when you're talking to a soul that's like that, or somebody brings it to your attention, that's going to make them think, why am I doing this? You may not even hear them thinking. And if they lash out, bing, 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 you push their button and they're automatically guilty. All right. When you say, that consider the source or origin of these remarks, or the source or origin of your belief, when they get mad, they're guilty. They have to defend themselves. So that's why I said never defend yourself. They may say you're selfish, greedy, blah, 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 blah. You know you're not a selfish, greedy, blah, 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 blah. So you don't have
Right.
to defend yourself. If you are that type of person, you're going to defend yourself. But a true enlightened soul will say, yeah, you're probably right. Thank you for bringing it up. It's something I need to improve in my life or change in my life. That's an enlightened soul. Or if you've done something to hurt some soul and you go back, say, I want to apologize. I didn't mean to hurt you. That's an enlightened soul. Most people don't want to admit they're wrong. Oh, their ego's too big. No, I'm never wrong. But when they're like that with you, some people you can talk to your blue in the face, they won't change. So all you do is say, thank you. I recently had something up with a client and she was resisting and I go, okay, well, thank you very much. That's pretty cool. And I changed the subject. But she did not want to hear it. So why should I waste my time? I just thank you. And I know she'll learn it on her own time. And when she or he ends up with egg on their face, well, maybe they'll call me up to bail them out, and maybe they won't. Maybe they'll find somebody else, and that's good. But they're on their own learning curve. I'm on my own learning curve. You're on your own learning curve. Why are those souls who are listening to this right now? It's because your soul said, "Hey, there's an important message coming from the true source. And the vehicle is Dr. Michael Gross to share this message. I'm just a conduit. That's all I am. We're all a conduit of the true source. It's how we pay attention to the conduit. But each one of us have a different life experience. Maybe this life experience is to your epitaph to teach children about life or teach them about reconnecting the true source, or maybe how you've been abused or whatever it is. This is a karmic lesson, whatever it is. But remember, your children are alone, so they have to find out the easy way or the hard way. My sister would find out things the hard way. With me, I'm more somewhere in the middle. Somewhere easy, somewhere challenging, but I was in the middle somewhere. So I hope that answers your question. Go ahead. If it doesn't, ask more.
Well, it does, and it also makes me realize that because of my past, I was always defending myself and making excuses. And when I first met you, you kept telling me, don't make excuses, just look at it like it is. And if your intentions were good, then there's nothing to ask for forgiveness for because you didn't do anything wrong. And
Correct.
if you made a mistake and you make amends for it, then there's no reason to bring it up again. You've already taken care of it, correct?
Correct.
Wow.
Good.
You have taught me so much, Michael, in the time that we've been
Thank you.
together. I'm so blessed that you're in my life.
Now,
And
go ahead.
no, I was just going to let you go ahead and keep on going because you've answered my question, and I'll look and see if there's any other questions. All right.
Correct. So if somebody shares something with you and maybe your button is pushed, just say, thank you for sharing it. They may be right or they may be wrong. Maybe it's from their perspective. Who knows what it may be? You know, there are so many souls that go to intuitive readers. Some of them I know are fantastic. Others come from a vibration and energy of anger and frustration or resentment or whatever, and you get bad advice. You never know. So your soul will tell you whether it's right or wrong. And that's all you know. It doesn't feel right. That's all. 98% of the time, it's not right. The other 2% is your ego or whatever the percentage is. But you will know. We are coming to a very big change, coming up from this in this time frame, and that of artificial intelligence, which is really great. You can use it for many things, but it not ever must replace critical thinking. In artificial intelligence, I was watching one little vignette on YouTube, and Morgan Freeman's one of my favorite actors. And he's talking, and I go, something a little off, but gee, that's Morgan Freeman. And then the guy withdrew the screen, and it was a man who used AI to use Morgan Freeman's voice. Well, the message was very positive, which is really great, but they were able to emulate his voice. So we have to be very careful. Ask for the gift of discernment by asking and use your critical thinking. And that's all you need to do. We'll talk about this more at a later time. Any more questions?
No, we're good, Michael. People are just really, really appreciative that you've taken your time to be here tonight with us.
Thank you. Well, I want to cover something else, and that is every Tuesday evening from Pacific time, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. It is called Soul Awakening. And I'm going to be writing a book on that sometime in the future. So I feel it's very important. But Soul Awakening is you ask questions. And maybe you already knew the answer, but you forgot about it. So I will help you remember. And you can ask any question you so desire, except I have a rule not for personal reading, because you don't want to know whether you're cheating on your husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or vice versa. You don't want the whole world to know that. Therefore, ask a general question, and hopefully I can answer it. Then I deliver a 10-minute message. And that 10-minute message, and there are over 403 or 4 of them right now. And it's really important because we'll talk a little bit more how you can access that information to you. What I'd like you to do is tell them how they can go on freeconferencecall.com so you can be in your pajamas, I'll never know, and join us on Soul Awakening.
Absolutely, Michael. That's such an interesting, every Tuesday night when you do it, you never know what the questions are going to be. And it makes it so incredibly interesting how these people come from all over the world to ask you things that stimulate our thinking. And you're just a wonderful source of information. I just had to put that in there because I admire everything you do for us. And that Tuesday call in is 202-926-1059, and the access code, Michael?
125-446#. One more time, please.
202-926-1059, and the code, Michael?
125-446#. I love doing that. Here's what I'd like to bring up to you. So when you do that, join us. You add an energy and a vibration, and you may be helping someone else as well. Using the same telephone number, same code, the second Saturday of every month, I do what is called the Mass Consciousness Healing. What is it? You tune in at 10:55 a.m. to 11:01 a.m. Pacific time. And what happens, we chat for a couple of minutes, where you're from, so on and so forth. After you do that, what happens is you become a conduit for the true source's unconditional love. Just imagine yourself like there's a hose coming into you, and your body is expanding like a balloon with this unconditional love. And then as you begin to meditate, which is very easy for all of you to do, even if you have trouble meditating, it's like this wonderful love comes forth from your heart, touching Mother Nature, the animal, mineral, vegetable kingdom, everyone on this planet, as they call it, Lady Gaia or Mother Earth, everything. It will change your body, your energy, it'll automatically heal you, and it'll help others change. I could tell you stories how miracles have happened personally on this planet. Please join us. It's so important. Theo, give them that information one more time.
Absolutely. On that second Saturday, Mass Consciousness Healing, you call the same number as it would be the Tuesday night. It's 202-926-1059, and the access code, Michael?
125-446#, the same one as before. Also, I'd like to share with you that as I alluded and told you, the 10-minute messages that I leave, they're all recorded verbally, and you can access them. And this is really, I want to share this with you. You're having a hard day, you're angry, stuck in traffic, whatever. Go onto your phone, Dial these numbers, and it starts with number 3 to 404. Just choose a number. How many, why aren't they all listed? And as some of you already know, I said, gee, True Source, I messed up on not labeling. And the answer got, you want to read 403 different indexes? Heck no, I don't have time. Tell everybody to trust their soul, whatever number they choose, whatever it is. It will help answer the questions they have. Pretty simple. Most of them, 99% of them are 10 minutes long. Do you give them that information, how they can access this information?
Absolutely. The recordings can be accessed at 434-300-4170 and the access code, Michael.
125-446-pound.
One more time.
Please.
Okay. 434-300-4170 and the access code, Michael.
125-446-pound. Remember, it starts at number 3 and goes up to about 404, 405. You'll know what to choose. It'll be perfect, so don't be concerned about it. It'll be wonderful. Also, I want to invite all of you to share what we're doing on every Tuesday evening and every Thursday evening. We'll watch the reruns. Also, I'd like to share with you that as your life is changing, to be open to the change, to realize that the energy and vibration for the next 8 years is realignment, rebalancing, and truth coming out. And we're hearing about this all over the planet. Sometimes, we don't want to hear the truth, but we need to understand it and how we've been manipulated, whether it be at a personal level, governmental level, family, friends level, whatever it is. That's empowering for all of you. So please share this. Also, you can go to YouTube, Dr. Michael B. Gross, and you can see a replay of all these podcasts. Also, there'll be some audio with a picture of a quote from the True Source from an award-winning photographer named Hugh Knapp, and you'll hear an audio little message. So I encourage you all to do this. What's your cost? Just a little bit of time. That's all it is. And what's the outcome? Love, healing, and empowerment. And more important, love. So I thought I'd share that with you.
Michael,
all right.
We have a few comments that have come in too. Darshan appreciates you doing this. Inga loves the Tuesday night call-in. That's her favorite part of the week. She also says she has trouble meditating, but you can still take part in the Saturday Mass Consciousness Healing, because when we come together, and I'll just add a little bit here, she's there every month on Saturdays, and a lot of people are, and I think more than anything, it's the collective, like you said, it's the collective energy when our hearts and souls come together that really brings an amazing energy, thanks to what you do, Michael. We've had some beautiful, beautiful experiences, so I won't go into it, but definitely, if you've never had an opportunity to participate, second Saturday of November is coming up soon.
Thank you, Inga, and thank you, Darshan. Well, the last thing I want to talk about, this is brought to you by Healing the Holes in Your Soul. I sound like one of those advertisements. This is a beautiful book. The book is all about finding yourself. As Tia would say, from gutter to grace. It's all about the mythological phoenix going through the rebirth and new beginning. It's a story of pain. It's a story of emotion. It's a story of hope. And there's a story of finding yourself and re-empowering your life and realizing you came here to share an important message. This is a must-read.
Thank you, Michael. And I highly recommend that you start with this book here, written by Dr. Michael Gross, called The Spiritual Primer. He wrote the foreword in my book, and I will say right now that had it not been for him and this book I'm holding, the book he's holding wouldn't even be in existence. He saved my life. To me, this book is priceless. And he is such a true gift and a blessing to many. And Michael, you have something, one more thing to share with people too, that you offer them for the new people. And
Yeah.
you can get this right now. I believe you can get this. The best way to get this is to contact one of us. And that way, one of us, Michael, can sign his book. If you choose to get mine, I can also sign my book for you. But they're also, mine is up on Amazon, but Michael's isn't on Amazon. This is his new second edition. So definitely, and without any more chatter on the books, this man is an amazing gift to all of us here on the planet. Definitely invite your friends to support him and all the work that he does, because he saved my life, he changed my life, and he's done so much for so many. Thank you, Michael. I honor you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank all of you for giving up your valuable time and ask you to share it with others. Because what I do offer is, for new beautiful souls, a complimentary session. 20 minutes to half an hour, sometimes it's a little longer, and you can ask any question you so desire, and hopefully I'll be able to help you. I'm not going to sell you anything. All I will do is say, if I'm going to be of any help, let me know. Period. That's it. So feel free to take me up on it and ask any question you so desire. You may not like the answer you get, but it certainly will give you more enlightenment and empowerment. So with that thought in mind, just know you are unlimited. I love you all. Have a great week. Namaste. Love you
Namaste.
guys.
We love
Take
you.
care.
Thank you for coming. Invite your friends.